So we've got our squishy ball. This is advanced mat Pilates, and I would like for you to just start on your back for a brief or an abbreviated warm-up. If you do have your ball, take it and place it right under the tailbone. You just want to feel the heaviness of the sacrum on that squishy ball. And my name is Jennifer. And just get your breath pattern focused on the task at hand. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale out, breathe out through pursed lips like you're trying to blow a feather all the way to the ceiling. Feeling the heaviness of that tailbone. You'll find that when you breathe in, you get a little bit lighter on the ball. And when you breathe out, you're going to find yourself getting heavier or squishing the ball down a little more. And then lift the hips, take the ball out of there, set the tailbone down, and try to duplicate the sensation of the heaviness of the sacrum just resting on the floor. We have our hip bones and our pubic bone in the same plane. Our rib cage is melting down onto the mat. The back of the ribs, the front of the ribs are staying closed and connected, but it's more of a hum rather than a shout. So you're not clenching anything, everything is awake and aware. Toes are forward, hands by the sides, and float those arms up to the ceiling. Reach the arms overhead, and then bring both arms back up to the ceiling and float them back down. So you just want to notice if one side feels a little bit sticky or caught or tight. So breathing in, or if they feel pretty smooth. Exhale to reach overhead, keeping the back of the rib cage down. So you notice I don't take my hands all the way to the floor. And then inhale back up and exhale back down. You might have that range where you could take the arms all the way overhead and touch the floor without having the ribs pop up. We'll do one more. Exhale. You'll feel that bottom rib have to draw down towards the hip to prevent that pelvis from shifting, and then the arms come back up and right back down. The other thing I'm noticing today for me in particular is I feel a little tight through the chest to start, so I'm going to turn my palms so that they face each other rather than the floor, and that allows me to widen the collarbone, and it also allows me to just relax right here in my throat center. And let's go ahead and breathe and drop the gaze slightly. So we're going to do our chin nod where we lengthen through the back of the neck, and then exhale back to where you normally hold it. So it's a really slight movement, just enough to feel the back of the neck lengthen, and it prepares the body for lifting the head, shoulders up. So on this next exhale, go ahead and lift the head, shoulders up. Float those hands towards your feet. Try to maintain that neutral. I just went into a slight imprint because I'm feeling a little fatigued today. And come back down. Again, slide or drop the chin. And then as you exhale, you're sliding the shoulder blades away from the ears. Keep that tailbone heavy. There we go. Inhale, hold. And exhale back down. Once more, inhale, drop the chin, exhale. We're going to stay up, going right into the hundreds. So we're in our neutral position, pulse and pump those arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start moving your way into your tabletop, right into the lengthened legs. Keeping a slight bend in the elbows the whole time, and continue to squeeze right underneath those armpits. Two more sets. Hold. Bend your knees in. Reach your fingertips a little bit further away from you. Place your feet down. Head, shoulders come down. And if you have that ball, place it right between the knees. If you don't have a ball, to make this harder for you, take your feet together, knees together. Think about squeezing everything in. If you do have that ball, you're squeezing it about think of maybe 35 to 40% pressure, so you're not trying to pop the ball, you're just trying to engage those adductors. Feet a little bit closer to the body for this. Hands are flat now. Inhale. As you exhale, I want you to squeeze the ball and lift straight up in the air. Don't articulate yet. Inhale, hold at the top, and then exhale one vertebra at a time as you roll down. Pressing evenly into your feet. Once you get to the bottom, release back to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, stay neutral. Squeeze the ball. Squeeze the hamstrings, lift straight up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, one vertebra at a time as you roll down. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the ball, lift straight up, push down into your feet, hold, and then roll down one vertebra at a time. Scoop through the abdominals, release at the bottom, inhale. Exhale, flatten out the low back, peel those hips up, roll up onto those shoulders, stay at the top, breathe in. Squeeze the ball more, and then try to set the tailbone down without articulating. So you find that spot without hyperextension. Inhale. Exhale, peel up. Pushing into your feet. Inhale, hold at the top. Exhale, set the tailbone down. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, peeling up. Stay right up at the top. Inhale, hold. Exhale, set that tailbone down. And then going with articulation both directions. Breathe in. Squeeze the ball, exhale, peel the hips up. Inhale, hold at the top, and then exhale, roll back down. All the way through, we have 2 more of those. Breathe in at the bottom, use your exhale, press into all 10 toes. Peel those hips up, roll up onto the shoulders without rolling up onto the neck. Inhale, hold at the top, and then exhale, roll back down. Scoop through the abdominals, flatten out the low back, and release at the bottom. One more time, inhale. Exhale, flatten out, peel those hips up, roll up onto the shoulders. Inhale, hold. As you roll down this time, I want you to stop when the low back comes to the floor. And stay in that posterior pelvic tilt. Squeeze the ball or squeeze those thighs together. Use your inhale to prep. Exhale, float the legs on up. Inhale, touch the toes to the floor without losing that imprint. Exhale, back up. Inhale, maintain that imprint. Really scoop through the abdominals. Try not to let them pooch. Inhale, touch. Exhale, lift. One more time, touch. Exhale, lift. And roll through those feet. And release. Taking the ball out of there. Right into our tabletop series. We'll have our fingertips on hip bones, thumb on the bottom rib. Use that exhale to draw those 2 points together. Lengthen through the lumbar spine. Scoop through the low abdominals, through the transverse abdominis. Hands by the sides. Inhale, drop your gaze. Exhale, curl the head, shoulders up. Bring those legs right up into tabletop position. Single leg reaches out, 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 out. Breathe in, breathe out. So try to keep that leg in tabletop so you're bringing the knee just on top of the hip, not all the way into the chest. If you want hands, opposite hand on the inside of the knee, same hand on the outside of the ankle. Shoulder blades stay up off the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. 4, 3, keep going with the legs, hands behind the head. Right away, cross over, over, over. Try to keep those elbows wide. Still, I have a tendency to bring my knees in a little too close to the body. I get a little carried away, a little excited. Breathe in, breathe out. Try to stop right over the hip. Inhale and exhale. Here's 4, 3, 2, and relax. Hug those knees in. Going into slow double leg stretch. I have to move that ball so that I don't knock it across the room, soles of the feet, or you can think big toes and heels touching, hands are on the outside of the knees. Inhale, drop your gaze. Exhale, curl the head, shoulders up. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, flex your feet, reach your arms overhead. Inhale, point the toes, scoop, and come on up into your T's or V. And then roll back down. Your head comes all the way down. Inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, lift the head, shoulders. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, flex, reach. Inhale, point, scoop, lift. And come on down. 2 more. No, 3 more. Inhale, nod. Exhale, lift. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, flex or reach. Scoop and lift up into that V. And then roll back down. Inhale, drop the chin. Exhale, curl the head, shoulders up. Inhale, straighten those legs. Flex and reach. Point, scoop, lift. And roll on down. Last one. Inhale, drop the chin. Curl the head, shoulders up. Straighten those legs on out. Flex your feet. Arms go overhead, and then you're going to point the toes, scoop, and come on up into your V. And then roll on down. Head, shoulders down. Bring the legs together. Curl the head, shoulders back up. Double leg stretch. Arms overhead. Bend the knees, sweep the arms around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep. And reach and sweep. Same thing here. Try to stop those knees right over those hips. Tabletop. 5, 4, and then right into scissors. Right leg comes towards the head, left leg reaches away. It's a little pulse, pulse, and switch. Reach, reach further. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those legs back into tabletop. Stay up. Hold, hold, hold. Feet down. Head, shoulders down. And breathe. Walking your feet as wide as your mat. Arms down by the side, just stretching that out, letting the knees drop away from me. So that would be dropping to your left probably. So knees dropping to your left. You'll keep your knees pointing to the left and take your left foot on top of your right thigh, just above the knee. Arms overhead if this doesn't bother the knees at all. And your left hand grabs the right wrist as you pull and squeeze that right glute. Release the arms down, release the foot to the floor, knees to the ceiling, and then let both knees drop to the right. Keeping the knees pointing to the right, you'll take your left foot, you'll take your right foot on top of the left thigh. Yes. Arms overhead. Right arm grabs that left wrist, a little tug and squeeze. And release the arms down, release the foot to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Right into our inversion. So we're gonna do our rollover first and then we will do boomerang. So I want you to start with that ball, if you have it, under the tailbone. If you don't, have those hands right under the tailbone. Works lovely for this exercise. You can use your hands to guide the legs, otherwise you'll have that ball ankles crossed. Start by taking the legs down as low as you can without feeling the abdominals pooching without feeling your back pop. So you want to keep the ribs down so the belly stays pulled in, and you'll peel the hips up and roll back down onto the ball. So the ball just gives you a little oomph to get going. Try not to throw yourself off the ball though. Then you can take the legs long and peel up and roll back down. And again, peel up and roll back down. Full exercise, taking the toes overhead, touching the floor behind you. Lift the legs up apart, flex your feet, and roll on down. Bring the legs together. Inhale, exhale over. Up apart, flex. Roll on down. Legs together. Inhale, exhale. Up apart, flex. Roll on down. And together. And then in the reverse with the legs apart. Inhale, exhale. Up together, flex. Roll. Legs apart. Inhale, exhale. Up together, flex. Roll. One more time. And bend those knees. Feet flat on the floor. Lift your hips. Take the ball out of there and just get it out of the way. Rock yourself up. A boomerang. Start with your right leg crossed over the left. Hands reach out in front of you. I'm going to teach it to you where you've got your hands on the floor the whole time, and then I'll teach it to you where you have the arms hovering. If you want to just start with hovering and you know the exercise, that's great. Otherwise, you'll take that right leg, lift it, the bottom leg follows over. Ooh, I've got to be aware of my ladder barrel. And switch the legs out. And then you'll use your exhale to come on up. Use your fingertips on the floor to kind of walk forward and slowly lower those legs down. Pardon me while I move forward just a smidge so I hopefully don't take myself out on the ladder barrel. And then left leg, right leg follows. You switch out. You squeeze those inner thighs together. Help yourself up to that teaser position. Hop those fingertips forward. Lower the legs slowly and reach without holding on. Inhale, exhale, hover those arms. Switch out those legs. Use your exhale to come up slowly into that teaser V. Reach those arms back behind you and then smoothly the whole body comes forward. And again, inhale, exhale. Ooh, a little bit of a cheat there. Inhale, switch. Exhale, coming on up into your teaser V. Reach those arms back and then slowly reach forward. One more each direction. Inhale, exhale, and switch. Squeeze those inner thighs, it really helps. And try not to come up too abruptly. Reach those arms back. Slowly down. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Switch. Squeeze those inner thighs as you come on up. Reach the arms back and down. And then coming into saw. So saw is a little bit wider with the legs. Not quite as wide as your mat, but wider than hip distance. Arms out to the sides, the palms face forward. Your hips are going to move a little bit, so just allow for a little bit of movement here. Don't feel like you have to keep the pelvis totally stable. That doesn't happen. When we twist, the palms are facing forward. Go ahead and twist to your right. Turn that left or that right hand to the back wall, and then reach your left hand towards that right pinky toe. Reach long, and you want to feel as if someone has hold of both wrists and they're pulling you in opposite directions. And then you'll stack and sit up tall and come center. Twisting the other direction, flipping that left hand back this time and reach your right hand towards your left pinky toe, but it's not about collapsing onto the thigh, it's about getting up and over, separating that rib cage from the pelvis, shoulders down. Roll back up and back to the center. Inhale, twist, exhale, reach. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, center. All kinds of adjustments being made as I do this. Trying to come up and over. This is a great little cue right here when I talk about having that beach ball. So when you twist, you're going up and over. So you notice you can't actually collapse down onto the thigh. That's your guide. Reach, come back up, and center, and twist, and reach, and back up, and center. If you have a ball, and you want to place it between your feet, this is a nice little tactile cue as well for spine twist. Since we're in a twisting mode, you'll squeeze that ball just a little bit, and you can soften the knees a touch to get yourself right up on top of those sits bones. Inhale, twist to the right for 3, 2, 1, back to the center. To the left, 2, 3, and back to the center. And tall, taller, tallest. One more, each direction. Really wringing out that wet washcloth, otherwise known as your torso. And taking the ball, placing it between the knees, option 1. Option 2, if you want to make this a little harder, place it behind the lower legs, in between the lower legs and the hamstrings. Rolling like a ball. Feet hover off the floor. You'll inhale to go back, exhale to come up, find your balance. Using that inhale to massage out that back. So you'll inhale, exhale, come on up. Whoopsie. Inhale, exhale up. And then for open leg rocker, your choice is to take the ball between the knees or between the ankles. And reach those legs up. Inhale. Exhale on up. So between the ankles will be harder than between the knees. Unless, of course, you try to adjust your ball midstream, and then that did not work. Inhale. Exhale up. Stay behind the sits bones. There is a tendency to lock everything out, and you can brace yourself and get yourself into this position with no difficulty. So you want to make sure that you stay rounded and you stay softened through those elbows. Definitely challenges the abs more that way. And it keeps you out of the low back, and we have one more. And exhale on up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bend the knees. Coming down onto a side. Straight legs. Bottom arm under the head, top arm in front of the chest, using that for balance. Float your top leg up, maybe 4 inches, basically just level with the hip. Abs are pulling in. You'll bring your bottom leg up to meet your top leg and lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And we're trying not to bang the leg up. Don't throw it up there. Three, 2, last one, and then keep that leg up, and we're going to pedal the feet. So point, flex, in opposition. You're going to feel this a lot right here, right at the waist. Continue to pull the abdominals in. You also want to feel your inner thighs squeezing. Inhale and exhale. Now bring those legs slightly apart. Take your bottom arm out, and as you exhale, I want you to bend that arm to help lift yourself up, keeping those feet slightly apart. They never touch down completely, and then lower your body down. And again, exhale, lift, both ends, and lower. So we're laterally flexing, we're working through the waist. And lift, and lower. And that bottom arm bends into a 90-degree angle, and out. One more time, in, and lower. Lower the leg, and then bend your knees towards the front edge of your mat. Extend both legs out. Flex the feet, lift the top leg. Top leg kicks forward for 2, and then points and reaches back for 1. So you're really opening up across the psoas. Try not to shift and lift that leg too high behind you. Inhale, forward. Exhale, it's in the same plane. So it's reaching back. If you want a little more, you're going to lift that bottom leg, point the toe, and bring the leg forward. Inhale. Exhale. Use that full breath. And inhale. And exhale. And again. Two more. And bend those knees in. Last little thing, reach both legs out again at about 30 to 45-degree angle forward. Lift your top leg up, flex both feet. Turn that top toe down just a smidge, and it's a small circle at that angle. Reverse that circle. And release down. Bending your knees, helping yourself up. You're going to stay on this side, and we'll bring that bottom leg, the leg that was on the bottom, in front of you, and your top leg's coming back. And I just want you to find a nice position where you can walk those hands forward, square off the shoulders, bend your elbows, bend that back leg more, and just lift that back leg up. And then see if you can find a nice soft touch with the hands without leaning back. And you just lift and lift and lift. Two more, and release on down. So it's very small. Jan was doing this crazy thing with push-ups included with that, and no. That's all I can say is no. So we're going to go over to the other side, get into that same position, and then we'll come down onto our complete side. Jenna knows what I'm talking about. Jenna remembers that move. Coming forward again. So lifting the top leg about 4 or 5 inches, bottom leg comes up to meet it, and lower down. And lift, and lower. Exhale. Keep the leg up, draw the belly in, and then point and flex the feet. Really working through the waist. You're going to find that one side is significantly stronger than the other. We just have a tendency to do twisting primarily one direction. And then hold and lower down, taking the legs back apart slightly. Bottom arm will bend in as you extend or laterally flex the spine, and then come back down without allowing the feet to come completely down. And again, draw the belly in and lift, lift, lift. Try to keep those knees facing forward and lower down. And lift. And lower. And again, lift. And lower. One more. Up, up. And lower down. And the knees come forward so you can extend those legs out, flexing the feet. Lift that top leg, you'll kick forward for 2, then point the toe and reach back long, trying to open up across the front of that hip, getting that psoas stretch. Inhale, forward. Exhale, reach. And inhale, forward. Exhale, reach. Draw the belly in tight. You do have that option of lifting that bottom leg and pointing both toes to get into that glute a little bit more. Inhale and exhale. So you're reaching the legs in opposition. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Two more. Last one. And release. Knees are bent. We extend the legs one last time. Foot stays flexed, lift it up, turn the toe down, and draw a circle with that heel. It's small. And reverse your circle. And release. Patting that out. Coming up, I'm just turning over onto the other side, flipping around I should say. And we'll stretch out the hips just a moment, and then we'll go into jackknife and bicycling in the air. And then we'll finally flip over onto the belly. Woo. Taking an ankle on a thigh. You're gonna drop the knee from side to side. And then come into the center and keep the legs in that figure 4 stretch. And just bring them in towards the body. Trying to keep the neck relaxed. And switch. Other ankle on the thigh, the knee drops from side to side. And then back to the center and hug those thighs in. Okay, so jackknife is not for everybody, but it is an advanced move. If you decide that it's not for you, you can do a few roll-ups instead. Roll-ups are with the legs out long, arms overhead. You're doing the inhale, exhale, roll forward. And then inhale, exhale, roll down. If you're up for jackknife, we start the same way that we did with the rollover, with the legs out long. We're gonna take those legs back behind us and then kind of walk yourself so that you're getting your hands a little bit closer to each other. And from here, you can touch the toes down or not, that's just a little intro. And then we reach the legs up towards the ceiling and you find your shoulder stand. You can stay right here with it, or this is only going to happen once for me, so you guys are going to have to suck it up and do it the one time. We reach the legs back over, let go, and you try finding that same position without grabbing the sacrum. And then slowly slowly as you can. There's probably going to be a little bit of a collapse happening for me. Slowly, 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 and down. That's your jackknife. That's a one-off. That's all I'm doing. So if you missed it, you can watch it on video later and try it out. Now the fun one is the bicycling. So we do the same thing where we go over with the legs. Take the hands to the small of the back so you can support yourself up high. And then from here, one knee bends and you reach out. And you bicycle. And bicycle. And the goal here is to get the legs in the same position, both front and back. I don't have a mirror to look at, so I'm having to kind of guess where that would be. But it's a nice glute exercise. And we do that a few times. And then when you've had enough of that, take those legs back over the head and roll yourself back down. Hugging those legs in, rocking yourself up, and we're on our stomach. Stomach and stretch. Breaststroke is first, so just make sure you have clearance for your arms. Big toes touching, heels touch, forearms on the floor. Inhale, extend your upper back. Exhale, lower the head, shoulders, hover, reach those arms out in front of you. Sweep the arms around, bend, reach. Inhale, sweep, bend, reach. Hold, right into swimming. Opposite arm and leg. You have the legs laterally rotated and abducted, so they're apart. And then the hands hover, and you pick up that pace. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. One more. Hold and relax down. Go ahead and push back on those heels. Swan dive. Legs are apart, turned out, and you just start with a little more extension than we had, and then come back down. Inhale, reach those toes away, squeeze the tush, and lower down. That's option one. Option two, you maintain this position as you come forward, so the head does not drop. You just bring that bottom rib down, and then you press back up. And you lift those legs. And you press up. And you lift those legs. And then we have rock and catch. Rock forward and catch. And then rocking only. And then catch. Sit back on those heels again. And relax. And there's one more extension. That's called rocking. We bend our knees. We grab our shins or our ankles. You create a little traction just by pressing the feet into the hands, and try not to have the knees flare too wide out. So they want to stay a little more parallel here. Inhale, exhale, and lift. into your hands and lift. And down. One more time. And down. And release that. Sit back on those heels. Last time. Allow those hips to drop over to one side as you walk those hands the opposite direction. Hips to the other side, hands to the other side. And then back to the center for a shoulder opener. Clasping those hands. You can keep them right at the small of the back, or you can reach those arms up towards the ceiling. And if you're comfortable there, go ahead and lift your rear end off those feet. Just make sure your head is not dead weight. You should be able to shake your head no and not be touching the floor. Bring those hips down, arms down. Unclasp. And then on all fours. Knees right under those hips. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under, push into the heels of the hands. Let that head hang. Draw the belly in a lot. Shake your tail no. And release back out. And push into the heels of the hands. Around the back. Shake that out, kind of wiggle out. Create some space between the rib cage and the pelvis. And then this time I want you to rock forward. Flex those feet. Spiral the creases of the elbows forward as you arch that back. And then rock forward, point the toes, and push off the floor. Come forward, flex your feet, spiral those elbow creases forward, bend your elbows slightly, kind of pull into that floor, into that mat. And then point and press back. One more. And press back and take a seat with the legs out in front of you. Sitting up tall, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, grabbing onto whatever feels appropriate for you for this final stretch. We're going to be here a moment. I want you to find a comfortable position with the head. The head just hangs. And then walk your knees. Bend one knee and then bend the other knee. That's just going to unload that low back a little bit more. Reach those legs long. And then slowly flex those feet. And grab right under the pinky toe and kind of pull that pinky toe back towards you. And then slowly release that. Walk those hands on up the thighs. Your head's going to be the last thing to come up. Sit comfortably. Dropping the chin to the chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Sit up a little bit taller. Use your right hand on the side of the head and push that head back up. Drop the chin to the chest. Left ear, left shoulder, and just stay there. using the left hand to push the head back up. Take both hands behind the head and just gently lift your head up. Think of your body as a little periscope as you rotate side to side. Back to center, release the arms, and then come halfway up. Letting your head hang, grabbing onto your elbows, soften those knees, and sway. Back to center. Release the arms, shake your head no, slowly rolling up so that your head is the last thing to come up. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling out, taking your arms right back behind you, lace your hands, index fingers point to the floor, lift the chin, lift the chest. Chin, release your arms, one more inhale, exhale out, and you ladies are finished. Thank you very much.